What is up, YouTube? And welcome back. Today, we're gonna be watching a rant from Day9. God, it's been a hot minute since I've had a rant moment with Day9. And it's about a game that basically got me obsessed with it, which is Blueprints. So, before we start the video, there is apparently spoiler about Fallout 1, the intro quest to it, as well as a puzzle in the library. So it might be a new clue related spoiler, it might be something else. I've been told there are spoilers. I just want to make sure that you guys know that so you can avoid it if you don't want to watch it. So the word of the day is spoiler! For those in the chat that have nothing better to say, just comment spoiler because it does help with the algorithm and I do appreciate your support in that, and it means a lot when you leave a comment. So yeah. Now, without further ado, I've been yapping long enough. Let's get the video started.
Here's a thing that this game does that I think is subtle, but really, 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 really important. Like,
okay.
And I feel that it's so profound, seeing this and feeling it, and I don't have a good articulation for it, so I'm gonna try to do this one shot right now. Here's what I think is really profound. What this game could have done is the following. It could have been that this book itself was on the table. And that I go and read these instructions and I get this valuable piece of information.
Okay.
But notice what the game did. The game said, no, you have to choose a book to check out, and the next time you're in the library, you'll see that book. Now, from like a designer perspective, what are we doing? Why?
but like, huh?
Do that? Why not just put the book on the table, you know? Here's what I think is going on.
Okay.
I think that there's, I think that there is an emotional component to anticipation that is just fun, right? I pull the lever in the slot machine, it doesn't say if I win or lost. It spins for a little bit, and then it tells me if I won or lost. This is like a well-researched thing. This is why slot machines in so many games do this sort of thing. This is why in
the anticipation
ARPG you get an item and it's unidentified, so then you have to identify it. It's why when you give someone a present, you wrap it, so they get some anticipation as they're opening it up, and then they get it. So that's like a known thing.
Interesting. I never considered the psychology behind it. Like, like when it comes to it, I always I don't know, I always assume that's like presents is just for the surprise element, right? You don't necessarily, I didn't really think about the anticipation feeling. Same with like the slot machine. I just assumed it's just to, I mean, slot machine, I thought it's designed to keep you on your toes, keep you hoping, right? But like for other things, like in case of, in this game, in Blueprints, right? I never stop to think about it from a perspective of like what you're gonna get next time, or like looking forward to the next day. Especially as someone that's played the game for like over 100 hours, at one point the library is like, oh, can I just have the bloody book already? It becomes more of a nuisance than a thing that I look forward to. But I never like really looked forward to the fact that it has a next day mechanic. I looked forward to getting the library. I look forward to seeing my stats, but I don't necessarily look forward to waiting yet another day for it. In that regard. That's why casino systems were in so many games. We played with psychology and lost. Oh. It's more, how do we make the library matter after a single visit? Yeah, it prolongs usefulness to it. It makes it more drawn out and it keeps you playing for the days. And potentially, if you forget about it, you might also like have to revisit or other things like that. Like, I understand the system behind it. Personally, I liked it. I liked what they did with a lot of things. I liked how they connected them together. I liked how you needed certain rooms connected to each other and things like that.
But from a like functional gameplay standpoint, here's the profound thing that I think is happening. I think that by saying make a choice, next time you're here, you'll get it. It makes you want to do another run where critically you get exposed to more goals. Now, I want to talk about this idea.
I mean, I feel like that's something that comes from just the genre of roguelikes. The what if and just one more run, right? Because like you kind of like unlock something, or you just need to do one more thing to unlock a new character, or you're about to beat your record, so just one more run because now you're slightly more powerful, stuff like that. I think like roguelikes do that very well.
Idea of a goal plus exposure. I see this a lot in strategy games, where I'm a new Magic the Gathering player. I have a cool dragon and I put it in my deck because I want to cast the dragon. What about the other cards in my deck? Well, I don't know what I'm going to draw, and therefore I get exposed to cards I might not have considered using, and I get exposed to lots of different situations, and I might play some 2-mana creature and go, hey, this 2-mana creature is pretty good. And that want to play with the dragon is what is motivating me to play right now. But then I get exposed to this new, to the power of this, whatever cheaper card. And then what that exposure does is it gives me a new want. Wow, this 3-mana creature with Death Touch? This is really good. Are there other cards like this? So then
I see where he's going with this. It's the equivalent of being exposed to things that you never knew you could desire. Hence why, social media and comparison, right? Like you wouldn't know so many things until your eyes were opened about like different people, different cultures, different behaviors, different foods even, right? Like if you're a person that sees something and they want to like, oh, I want that, I want to try that, easily influenced or like easily convinced of things. The welcome back bonus, yeah, video games do kind of go crazy about that, don't they?
It helps you get a different want. What else could I get that is good like this? Same sort of thing happens in Dota. Oh, I want to get a Battle Fury because it is an item that gives me Cleave. And Cleave is really good for killing enemy creeps really quickly that lets me get my farm really quickly. So, okay. Players get the Battle Fury for the Cleave. Battle Fury also gives you a good amount of health regen. Hey! Now that I'm getting exposed to the benefits of health regen, my eye starts paying attention to this a little bit more. I think that it is very easy in a game to make things overly one-dimensional. To make it that, like, hey, you found the library, you got the information. Done.
It's funny because it also, like, not only does it slow your progression down in a way, but it also gives you, like, it doesn't give you that instant reward that so many people seek. And it makes you appreciate your choices more. I really like that about Blueprints because it values your commitment to something, right? Like you're committing the time to investigate something. You're committing that day to a particular action. You're making sure that you're ensuring, like, if you choose a book, that the next day you're going to commit a slot to the library itself, which is like pretty big in some cases. There are so many layers upon it that make you kind of like nudge you forward, right? They slowly push you forward to like play one more day, do one more thing, try one more thing. There's this next puzzle, there's this next piece that you could potentially have the answer to that, and it's just kind of sitting there at the tip of your tongue.
Or in an item sense, in an ARPG or in Dota, like, oh, I want to get damage, so I will buy a sword of damaging. It does plus 20 damage, and that's it. It's so linear that when you have a one-dimensional want, I want damage, you get one-dimensional exposure. Here's what it feels like to get more damage. Good games say one-dimensional wants gives you multi-dimensional exposure. And I feel like I see this in story-driven games. You need to go to this town. Screw it, let's use Fallout 1 again. You need to go to Vault 15 to find the water chip. And you start traveling to Vault 15, and then you run into Shady Sands, which is your first town, where you start to get quests. And then there's a quest to go to the Raiders, so you go south to the Raider encampment. And then you go back up, and they also tell you about a location that's Junktown. So then you go to the vault, right? Like one goal, whole bunch of other things in the way that exposes you to different wants and different things.
Oh, yes. It's the main quest that is set on a path of a ton of side quests, so that by the time you get to the main quest, you already have like the most powerful armor and things and you're 10 times over leveled because you did every single side quest. Yeah, huh? I was like, give me a moment, lady in damsel in distress. I need to level up my mining to 50 first.
I've never quite seen a puzzle game do this this brilliantly. I've never quite seen a puzzle game that says, hey, I'm going to create a breadcrumb that gives you constant dynamic, you're going through this manner, getting different rooms, giving you exposure to different new goals. I swear to God, I play a lot of puzzle games on Mondays, and all of you should come join me in Mostly Walking, where we play old point-click adventure games. This happens a lot. Okay, we need to get the sword. There's a puzzle, I solve it, I get the sword. Okay, now what? It's like I don't know what my wants are. I don't know what I want to do. And I just think this is a marvelous little technique that this game is doing all over the place, where you need to revisit things.
It really does.
It gives you a wish, and then you need to make a completely new manner to help satisfy that wish and curiosity, and it's just constantly exposing you to new questions. I mean, I just think that this is A+ design.
They really made a very good and beautiful game in that regard. Like, for me, it hooked me because, like, I was very curious outside of like the initial goal of inheritance, right? By the time I got to that point, I was so invested in the world. I was so invested in the lore and the characters and the story and like what was happening. And I also have some clues, like some random note in a random building that I didn't think existed, that I found out about it, and I'm just like, what do you mean? And it's color coded, and you're just staring at it and going like, what is the equivalent of that? What does it mean? And then you go on a quest of finding it. It really scratches a very good itch. Like, it's a pretty unique puzzle game. It was a really pretty unique puzzle game. And it does it very well. Like, it gently guides you through seeing the entire thing as long as you open your eyes. Sometimes I feel like it's too subtle in some regards, but the fact that it circles back to puzzles and it goes back to things and it makes you reevaluate the same rooms and look at them from a different angle and a different perspective. And like, there are clues within clues within clues and puzzles within puzzles. It's marvelous at how well they manage to keep you engaged into what to do. And even in the one context, right, like a new clue book, even in that context, and I'm trying to keep it spoiler free for people, when you're lost, it's like, if only I had a new clue, I'd know what to do. It's fucking brilliant. Like, it knows, they've even thought about how the person thinks and what they think of, right? Like, you're at a point where you're like, if only I had a clue. But yeah, it was a that was a cool rant. I liked it. I like ranting about blueprints. Totally not because I've played this game for over 100 hours. But hey, YouTube, if you want to see my blueprints playthrough, just go to my channel and click the live tab. You will see all the blueprint streams. I still need to figure out 2 or 3 puzzles, so you'll probably catch me streaming it as well. as always, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. And let me know, did Blueprints catch you? Do you like the design? Do you think it's interesting? What do you think about like the wants and goals in video games? What makes you keep playing a video game? What kind of nudges you forward? For me, it's loot and curiosity. And mechanics. I like figuring out mechanics. That's my main drive in games. Like, genuinely, I enjoy figuring out how something works mechanically. Not so much like doing, but just knowing how it functions, if that makes sense. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye.